Welcome to Technia TV. Good morning everyone. I Jyotsna, faculty of MBA department from Technia Institute of Advanced Study. Today I am going to deliver a lecture on the topic what are the main important terms of Sales of Goods Act and what is the main difference between sale and agreement to sell. Section 27 of the Sales of Goods Act 1930 defines goods as any kind of movable property which is not an actionable claim or money, or land including stock and shares, growing crops, grass and things that are attached to or form the part of the land which is agreed to or sold under the contract of sale. Goods from the subject matter for the contract of sale against which the buyer pays a consideration. Price for the goods at the time of completion of the contract. Goods can be classified into main three types on the basis of their quality. Number one, the existing goods. The goods that are agreed to the subject matter of the contract by the parties and are under the possession of the seller at the time of the formation of the contract are referred to as an existing goods. These can further be divided into two main categories. A certain or a specific goods, the goods that are specifically a part of are or identify and agreed upon at the time when the contract of sale is made are ascertained goods. For example, when a customer selects a particular painting, artwork to buy from the seller at the time of formation of the contract, the painting, artwork is an ascertained goods since the customer contracted to purchase that specific painting, artwork only. Unascertained goods, the goods that are not explicitly identified among similar goods at the time of formation of the contract are unascertained goods. For example, A contracts to buy 1 sack of rice from B. Here, the subject matter of the contract, rice, is not identified specifically by the buyer at the time of the formation of contract, but is under the possession of the seller. Number 1. Future goods. The goods that are not present with the seller or are not under the possession at the time of the formation of contract, but promises to produce, manufacture or acquire the same in order to fulfill the contract. Subsection 4. When the seller has produced, manufactured, acquired the goods as agreed upon during the formation of a contract and are suitable to the transfer to the buyer, the goods are said to be in a deliverable state. Subsection 5. And the buyer is bound to take the delivery of the goods so produced. For example, A contracts to buy a car from B after it is manufactured by B. Number 2. Contingent goods. Section 31 of the Indian Contract Act 1872 defines contingent goods as a contract to do or not to do something. If some events collateral to such contract does or does not happen, which means such contracts which are dependent on some other event or contract. A contingent goods in a similar sense means a goods, the acquisition of which by the seller depends upon the contingency which may or may not happen. Subsection 6. For example, A agreed to deliver a TV set to B, same from the vendor upon fulfillment of his contract with the vendor between the seller and the vendor. Now, the next topic, the difference between sale and agreement to sell. Number 1, the property or ownership in the goods immediately passes from the seller to the buyer, whereas in agreement to sell, the property in goods transfer on some future date or subject to fulfillment of some condition. The seller continues to be the owner of the goods. Sale is always of an existing specific or ascertained goods, whereas an agreement to sell may relate to existing goods, uncertain goods and mostly to future or contingent goods. Number 3, sale is an executed contract, whereas in agreement to sell, it is an executor or future contract. The goods belongs to the buyer even if they remain in the possession of seller. The case of loss or damage, the buyer will suffer the loss, whereas in agreement to sell, the goods belong to the seller and he will suffer the loss if the goods are destroyed, even if these are in the possession of the buyer. Number 5, If the buyer fails to pay the price, the seller can sue him for the price but cannot resell the goods. Whereas in agreement to sell, the seller can recover the goods, can sue for the damages and can resell the goods but cannot sue the intended buyer for the recovery of price. If the buyer gets insolvent before he pays the price, the seller cannot retain the goods. He must return the goods to the buyer, official receiver, and shall be entitled only to the rate able dividend, whereas in agreement to sell, the seller can retain the goods as he is still the owner of the goods. In case goods are with the official receiver of the buyer, he can recover the goods or full price of the goods. If the seller gets insolvent, the buyer can recover the goods from seller official receiver, whereas in agreement to sell, if the buyer has already paid the price, buyer cannot recover the goods. He can only claim rate able dividend as creditor. So, I hope you understand this lecture, Sales of Goods Act, and what are the main difference between sale and agreement to sell. For watching more videos, please subscribe Technia TV. Thank you.